the Belonging in the Township of Wellesley show. I'm Kate Frid, Artistic Director of Watercourse Theatre, and on behalf of all of us here, thank you for joining us tonight for the show. So before we go any further, would you please just take out your phones and double check that they're not going to ring or buzz or play us a Beyonce song or something like that when we're in the middle of a scene? That would be great, thank you. The show you're about to see tonight was created in its entirety in the last 4.5 months by talking to different people around the township and by having a core group of people who I worked with to pull the stories together and turn them into scenes, and worked with James Gordon on the songs. The show runs 75 minutes and there's no intermission. If you need to leave, please leave by that door, or if you need to use the washroom, you can just go outside that door. We'd like to thank the Woolwich Community Health Centre who provided the funding for our project. And now before we start, our director James Gordon is going to do a land acknowledgement.
Thank you, Kate. Welcome everybody. We are on treaty land, and the Haudenosaunee, Anishinaabe, and Attawandaron peoples in particular have been here for an awful lot longer than we even had guessed. And we owe, in my view, a debt of gratitude for the stewardship that our Indigenous peoples have shown to this beautiful land. My hope is that we can emulate that stewardship and work together, and especially in this week of reconciliation and collaboration, moving forward, so that we are all mindful of what this Turtle Island needs to be sustainable. Thank you. Enjoy the show.
Thank you.
Cider barbecues, that's how you know you're in Wellesley. Eggs and flowers at the roadside stands, apples and pumpkins, bounty from the land, that's how you know you're in Wellesley. Rolling hills, corn in the fields, friendly faces, small town feel. Quilts on lines, stitching ties, that's how you know you're in Wellesley. Soccer in the summer, skating on the pond, sliding down the hills till the snow is gone. That's how you know you're in Wellesley. Baseball in the hayfield, fishing in the creek, bikes along the road 6 days a week. That's how you know you're in Wellesley. Rolling hills, corn in the fields, friendly faces, small town feel. Quilts on lines, stitching tires, that's how you know you're in Wellesley. That's how you know you're in Wellesley.
It seemed that unless I went to the library or the grocery store, it was hard to find out what was going on in the community. So I started this Facebook group.
It was a great idea. By the way, bingo is canceled tonight because of the storm.
I love this group.
This group is definitely a good idea.
I saw a little brown dog running around near my intersection. I'm afraid it's going to get hit by a car. Does anybody know who it belongs to?
That's a farm dog, a working dog. Just let him be. He'll be fine.
Okay, thanks. honey, bundle up and be good or I'll hear about it.
Right, Mom.
I found a wedding band that was lost in the village today. PM me.
When I read your post, all I could think of was 4 guys with a bass, saxophone, keyboard, and drumsticks wandering around.
It appears my blue bin seems to have found or invited 9 of its friends, along with their contents and 2 garbage bags, for a party on my front lawn. I have collected most of what was dumped.
The wind is ferocious.
Thanks for the giggle. You have extremely social recycle bins to make sure the rest have a safe place to wait for their owners.
Also, here are some things I learned about my neighbors today while resorting the recycling. Coke is favored over Pepsi, at least 2 to 1. Ginger ale beats them both. Orange juice drinker, please break down your boxes. And somebody really likes blueberry Pop-Tarts. Seriously.
I'll be over. You're hilarious.
That's the best post ever.
There's a little brown dog running around. I think he's lost. I brought him inside and fed him. Whose dog is this?
That's a farm dog. Let him go. He belongs outside.
Meals needed for a mom with 2 young kids who's just had major surgery and coming home this weekend. If you want, contact me and I'll slot you in on the calendar.
I love to cook. Count me in.
Count me in as well. Smiley face.
Me too.
Great idea. A meal train.
Hi, I saw on Facebook that you're doing a meal train. What's the best day for me to help with it?
There's a very pushy solicitor who just came to my place selling duct cleaning. He's starting at my end of the street. And if you're nearby, you might think twice before answering your door.
I lost my puppy. He ran outside.
Can you post a picture?
Is he this little brown dog? Maybe a farm dog. I'm not sure. Picture attached.
I found my puppy. He went in the neighbor's backyard. He's white. Thanks, everybody.
Does anybody know how the roads are? I'm heading into town.
Which roads? It's a big township.
All clear.
The soldiers are out.
It's brutal. Whiteouts.
I just got home. The roads are really icy. Some very kind person just pulled my car out of the ditch with a blue tractor. Does anybody know who he was? I didn't think to ask, and I want to thank him.
There were some kids throwing snowballs at cars near the park. I got out and asked them to stop.
Thanks for talking to them.
Fitness classes are starting at Tuesday nights. Here's a registration form.
There are cattle loose in the soccer field again.
I just checked and the farmer's on his way to get them.
Big news. I heard that former Blue Jays shortstop, Tony Fernandez, is going to be coaching our Twin Center team.
Oh, come on. I don't think Tony Fernandez is even alive.
He was one of the greats.
That's awesome.
What a feather in our cap.
I hate to burst your bubble, everyone. Tony Fernandez died some time ago. Fake news.
Update on meal train. We have filled meals for 2 weeks. If you would like, you can still offer for us snacks. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Amazing.
Kudos to our community.
Love it.
Bless everyone who showed their support.
Hi, Mom.
Why were you throwing snowballs at cars today?
I wasn't. I didn't start it. How did you know?
I'm your mother. I know everything.
Who owns this little brown dog that keeps running around? I think he's lost.
Don't pick up the little brown dog.
I was looking for you. I didn't see you when I pulled in, so I went down to the barn.
What brings you out here, Vern?
I come to check on the pregnant sows like we talked about last month.
Ah, right.
So, what happened to that fence?
Great. The vet. The animals need their vaccinations. That's going to cost $2,000. And the price of hogs is down this week.
What? Oh, the fence. Post rotted out. That section came down.
So, you're using your car to block the opening?
With the price of feed, you're shipping every hog at a loss. Yeah. How are you going to keep the lights on here?
What?
The fence, when did that happen?
Sometime last winter.
Let's see. Well, Bob, the barn isn't being kept up.
How long can you keep farming? Your back hurts, your knees hurt. Mother and you were always planning on retiring early. She's got all those travel brochures. And with the price of hogs, she's still counting on a cruise. Who will take over the farm?
Is your back bothering you, Bob?
The family's been on this farm for 80 years. Your son can't afford to buy it, and your daughter in town expects half the money as her inheritance. You need to find a way to pass it on. And with the price of hogs down this week, if your son can't make it work and you lose the farm.
Bob,
Yes.
you've got to be ready for the piglets. What are your plans for cleaning the barn?
I guess I better get on that.
Have you got someone to come and help you with the pressure washing? No. Your neighbor's son, Tom, he's looking for extra work. Maybe he can wash down the walls. Shall we call him and see if he can come over and do the pressure washing?
And pay him with what? You're selling every hog at a loss.
Nah.
Hey, weren't you telling me your son is thinking of taking over the farm? Maybe he can help get it ready.
You don't expect him to get out of his $500 running shoes, put on rubber boots, and smell like a barn.
Was I right in thinking that he's going to take over the farm?
Between hunting season and going fishing every weekend, I don't know how he'd fit it in. There's no way. And what's the market price for hogs going to be next week?
Not sure he can.
Oh, well, that's got to be discouraging. Do you have anyone to talk to about what's going on?
Mother knows my thinking.
Your wife and you are partners in the business. Sometimes it's useful to speak to someone with a fresh perspective.
What would that help?
Do you find your thinking is going in loops? And you're dreaming up worst case scenarios? That's a pattern you can break.
Market price, market price, market price.
What's this talk gonna run me?
Actually, Bob, it would be free. How does that sound?
Sounds like hogwash.
Free's good.
There's a wellness initiative for farmers and their families.
The last thing you need is someone in Toronto telling you how to run your farm.
Sometimes picking up the phone to make that call is a big step.
It's not going to help. You think talking to somebody's going to change the price of hogs?
Yeah,
Is it a big step, Bob?
I'm a farmer.
So a lot of people don't understand the pressures of farming.
The mortgage, the bank loan, price of feed, fuel cost, taxes, and what's the hog price going to be next week? Oh, and the vet bills.
Yeah, the pressures of farming.
Well, these counselors all have a farming background. They'll understand what you're going through.
So the counselors were smart. They got out of farming.
What is this, some kind of government program?
Oh, great. The government is spending your hard-earned tax dollars on Band-Aid solutions.
Farming is isolated. It's tough. Sometimes you need to talk. There's a number you can call to get started.
Sounds like jail. One free call.
So I get one free call and then I have to pay.
Go, Bob. There's unlimited free counseling.
But I'm sure I have to start with somebody fresh every time I call.
Oh, they'll set you up with someone and you'll work with one person.
Right, so I have to get cleaned up and drive into town to some 9-to-5 clinic. I'm sure it's right across the street from the bank. The bank manager's going to think I'm not good for my payments.
And what will your neighbors think, seeing your car parked in front of the clinic?
No, Bob. It can all be done over the phone. You can even do it from your tractor. No one has to know. The lines are open 24/7, 365 days a year. Will that work for you?
I'm a newcomer to the township. I moved here 12 years ago. Some of you will think that's funny, but if you're from Wellesley, you're probably just nodding your head. Leaving the town that we lived in on the other side of Toronto was a really, really difficult decision. If we moved away, we would be leaving behind one of our daughters and other family members. There would also be the house that we lived in for over 30 years, where we raised our family, and our friends that we've had for almost 50. It started on the steps. It was only a Wednesday, and for the third time that week, I sat in a heap at the bottom of the steps and proclaimed, "I hate this house." It wasn't the whole house, but it was the steps. But I was in absolutely no mood to separate the two of them. My husband came to check on me to make sure that I was still okay, and he calmly said to me, "If you don't like this house, why are we still living here?" That was the beginning of a very, very intense conversation. If we sold our house, would we stay in the town that we had both grown up? It was decided that we would move to Wellesley. There, we could live in the village where our other daughter and our two granddaughters lived, who were ages 8 and 10. We would help out with the babysitting and taking them to their activities. Originally, we had planned to move into an apartment or a condo, but our daughter was able to purchase a house with a roughed-in granny suite. We were able to customize it to our liking, and it even had a walkout to the backyard. Yes, there were steps, but they were more gradual, and steps of 6 instead of 12. What was there not to like? That was to be a 5-year arrangement. It was 12 years ago. We came here, we knew next to no one. The village was about a third of the size of the town that we had previously lived in. But the adjustment, we found the people very welcoming. We've been here to enjoy all the wonderful memories of our daughters' and granddaughters' lives. We were able to attend sports games, social and school events. At the arena and at sports field, we got to know parents and other grandparents. At church, we met many welcoming people who became our friends and our support system. As we walk our dogs, we experience the warmth of the people of the village. Because of the big city medical care, we first went to Kitchener-Waterloo for our doctor and pharmacy. But bigger isn't always better. Now we have switched to our local pharmacy, where we deal with the same knowledgeable pharmacist who gives us excellent care. And we are hoping for a local doctor soon. We have seen the growth in Wellesley, but it still maintains its charm. Don't look for large franchise superstores or eateries. We make our purchases at the grocery store, the pharmacy, and the bulk store. We also like to stop at the coffee shop or the restaurant to get some freshly brewed coffee, home-cooked meals, and delicious baked goods. At each of these places, we are often greeted with the same personalized service, often from the owner of the business. When we came to Wellesley, we were helping look after our granddaughters while our daughter advanced her career. Today, there is a reversal. They now ask us if we need a ride to our appointments or some groceries purchased. One of our daughters has become a nurse, and she advocates on our behalf. Their friends The same kids that we cheer on those sports fields, now when they come to visit upstairs, they stand at the top of the steps and say, "Can I come down to say hello?" Yes, times are changing, but it is for the better.
Meet me where Farella Creek tumbles from the pond. There's a pool below the dam where carp swim all day long. Maybe we'll catch a few, or maybe we won't. I don't care if we do, I don't care if we don't. Sun is warm, water's cool, and the sky is blue. Hike out to the Kissing Bridge, I'm sure you know what for. First we'll make a stop at Schnurr's grocery store. We can buy some things for lunch and eat them at Frogs Falls. Chocolate bars, potato chips, it's better than the mall. We'll find a cool spot to sit and kick off our shoes. I'll go anywhere with you, anywhere you want me to. Under bridges, over rocks, across the lawn in my socks. Sneak out of bed to watch the moon. I'll go anywhere with you. I'll meet you at the river bends down by Temperance Road. We can have a picnic there like folks did long ago. I'll go to Lynn's Mill store and then the bakery. We'll find a shady spot right beside the creek. We'll relax and chew the fat, just enjoy the view. The Lions Park down on Peter Street. We can watch our fathers pretend that they're athletes. One by one they'll strike out, swinging for the fence. Maybe a neighbor's car will get some dents. There'll be complaints and angry words, faces turning blue. I'll go anywhere with you, anywhere you want me to. Under bridges, over rocks, across the lawn in my socks. Sneak out of bed to watch the moon. I'll go anywhere with you. These are my memories, the road from then to now. I know that I'm changing just like our little town. I'll ask if you remember, you always can. To keep myself from fading, let me take your hand. We can walk back through these fields, our sneakers wet with dew. I'll go anywhere with you, anywhere you want me to. Under bridges, over rocks, across the lawn in my socks. Sneak out of bed to watch the moon. I'll go, yes, I'll go anywhere with you, anywhere you want me to. Under bridges, over rocks, across the lawn in my socks. Sneak out of bed to watch the moon. I'll go anywhere with you. I'll go anywhere with you. I'll go anywhere with you.
mistake. I was out in the country near Bamberg just enjoying the view.
I was in the village, minding my own business, and now I'm gonna miss the Fall Fair scarecrow judging.
Oh, you're not a scarecrow.
I'm in the creative category.
Oh, creative, my scratchy straw butt. You're nothing but a seasonal misfit. You're lucky they let you out before Halloween.
You're in the traditional category?
You don't have to worry about the judging. You don't stand a chance at the fall fair.
I dare you to come over here and say that.
You know, they give points for color, right?
It's my creative concept that's gonna put me ahead of this competition. And my quality and my details. Look at the quality of this cape.
Oh, I give an awesome first impression. I'm recognizable as a scarecrow, which is always a plus in a scarecrow competition. And I have an ironic twist with a crow on my shoulder. And I'm weatherproof. I get points for that too.
But you weren't solidly mounted, or else they wouldn't have been able to kidnap you and bring you here.
Right back at you, sister.
That's a fair point.
Maybe I can spring us out of here. Would you take some of this stuffing out, and I'll see if I can squeeze between the bars. I'll get the key and unlock the door.
Hey, are you trying to escape?
No,
No.
we don't even know why we're in here.
Well, you were interfering with the traffic. Both of you.
How? I wasn't even on the road.
Well, you two were attached to stop sign posts. You were distractions. You were causing a disturbance on the corner of Weimer Line and Greenwood Hill Road.
It wasn't my fault.
And you were causing a commotion in downtown Bamberg.
Impossible.
Let me check. Oops. Well, I think, correction, uptown Bamberg.
I was framed.
Besides, we're going to score an additional 10 points for the visibility. We're showing initiative for the fall fair.
Well, I have good news for you. Somebody's posted your bail. You're free to go. Oh no! Your surety is parked illegally. Now she's gonna get a ticket.
Quick, let's make a run for it.
Would you please?
Good luck with judging.
Best of luck.
I was in a cafe having coffee and cheese cake with my friend Oksana. We were planning how our kids could go to summer camp together, figuring out where we could register them. That was 1 week ago! Now my family's in a bunker! A subway tunnel being used as an air raid shelter!
That woman on the TV isn't much younger than I am. That could be me. I should help. We have room in our house for a family to stay. But what if it didn't work out? We don't speak the same language. And what if for some reason our temperaments aren't a match? It's a huge responsibility. I just don't know where to start.
Чи ти чуєш мене, Боже, як молю про душі наші? Чи ти бачиш, як гірко?
Do you hear me, Lord, as I pray for our souls?
У серці вільне
Do you see how bitterly I weep? How my soul aches for our land? The pain in my heart never goes out. And time passes by, and there's no end. It's so hard to understand. Someone who's capable of killing, to step on his brother. Do you hear me, Lord? Save our home and save our souls. Forgive us our sins. The Lord has given us consciousness. Give us free will. So let us not forget and be human.
There's a special visa to fast-track Ukrainian refugees into Canada. It's a work visa without the traditional refugee housing or financial supports. After 2 weeks in a hotel, they're on their own. Even though the process is fast-tracked, there's a lot of hoops to go through, a lot of waiting. One government person tells you one thing, another one tells you something else. Hi, welcome. Please have a seat.
Hi, thank you.
We want to provide a safe place for you to land as long as you need. We knew we couldn't do this alone, so we'd need support. I reached out to our neighbors and through Facebook Messenger as well. Today I came home to find a gift basket for you on our porch. It was given anonymously. Our community is donating food and blankets, gift certificates, small appliances, and even a small half fridge that we can set up in a kitchenette for you downstairs. It's overwhelming.
Yes, it is overwhelming. I don't miss things. They can always be replaced. The irreplaceable are people, our families. They are the ones we miss. Since we arrived, I feel like I'm living inside an American movie, with how the country looks and how the buildings look. People are calmer here, and they smile, even when nothing is funny. In Ukraine, people don't smile for no reason. In the suburbs of Toronto, public transit is more expensive and infrequent than I'm used to, and it takes a long time to get anywhere. When we hear we're going to be living in a village, we think of how poor the villages are in Ukraine. It's a surprise that a village can look so beautiful and that people live well here. After living in huge cities back home, I never imagined I would be able to see wild animals like squirrels and rabbits.
Я зірок не бачила роками. У небесній темряві губилася душа.
I hadn't seen the stars for years.
Запалюються світили.
In the celestial darkness, the soul was lost. But once again, luminaries ignite in my heart, and each spark a particle of the Creator, a radiance that leads me to itself. Under the starry sky, I will find the answers. For each star is a reflection of my soul. I'm surrounded by the blessing of the night, so let the stars not fade until dawn, filling the heart with light.
When Uli and his family arrives, I learn how hard immigrants work. They go to school and, well, while they're looking for jobs. I learn how important safe housing is for people who've had that taken away from them. We have a rental unit and the family moves in. I wish other landlords knew what great tenants immigrants are. We put the family in touch with schools and all the other supports in our area, including a food bank. We want to provide emotional and financial support, but also leave room for them to make their own choices. People in our community from Ukrainian and Russian backgrounds come forward, and Uliana's family makes connections with others who speak their language. There is more good in the world than bad. If you look for the good, you'll find it everywhere.
Життя поставлене на паузу, зупинилось, завмерло.
Life put on pause,
Світі ілюзій. І душа
stopped,
боліла моя.
froze.
Шукала шляхи зцілення.
I lost myself in a world of illusions, and my soul ached.
Привів у місце,
Looking for the way of healing, I prayed to the Lord for salvation, and God led me, brought me to a place which revealed me, where every step is a revelation. Showed the breadth of people's hearts, open and clear, the beauty of earthly existence, so great and powerful. Opened doors long forgotten by time, healed the wounds of the soul, exalted the soul above earthly sorrows, revived from the ashes, brought me back to life. Through the thorns to the stars, a path that was not easy, though it was hard, but every moment of pain became a rebirth. I thank the Creator for the gift of transfiguration.
Well, come on in, have a cup of tea. Would you like to hear a tale from me? I was raised on a farm out by Linwood, yes. Life in Wellesley has been good. Yes, life in Wellesley has been good. One morning running through the fields on my way to school, in the young spring sun, the air was cool. On the breeze as sweet a song as ever you heard. I'll be darned if it wasn't a bluebird. I'll be darned if it wasn't a bluebird. And right then and there, way back when, I made a promise to that feathered friend to do whatever I can do to help those bluebirds make it through. I wanted to help 'cause I knew that changing times had taken their habitat. So I built nesting boxes, trimmed the grass around them. Soon those bluebird families found them. Soon those bluebird families found them. So there's more of them now than never before. That's why the GRCA gave me that award. They said I was a man of some distinction for bringing them back from the brink of extinction. For bringing them back from the brink of extinction. And on that day, way back when, I made a promise to that feathered friend to do whatever I can do to help those bluebirds make it through. Now all around the township and in Wilmot too, you can see little flashes of orange and blue. 'Cause I look out for them and they look out for me. It does this old heart good to see them flying free. Does this old heart good to see them flying free. say they're harbingers of happiness, I think that's true, bringing their song of hope to me and you. Now that I am so much older, I've still got a bluebird on my shoulder. Still got a bluebird on my shoulder. And on that day, way back when, I made a promise to that feathered friend to do whatever I can do to help those bluebirds make it through. We're singing zippity-doo-dah, zippity-dee. Wonderful feelings, wonderful day.
As Waterloo North Member of Parliament in Ottawa, I have been committed. I am committed to.
Hello, you must be the new circuit court judge. We have 4 cases on the docket for you to try tomorrow. I was just coming up to set up the room. Would you like to see the list?
Aaron Schnurr, I presume? This is Linwood, I presume?
Yes?
My campaign manager has hired this town hall above your beautiful store for a political rally of the liberal persuasion tonight.
You must be Mr. Brown, our Liberal candidate. I'll check the calendar.
Who in tarnation is Mr. Brown? I am William Lyon Mackenzie King, your Member of Parliament, first ever Minister of Labour.
That's not possible. Mr. King died last week. Who are you, sir, and how did you get up here?
I can assure you I had no trouble getting up here. Mr. Schnurr, may I call you Aaron?
He was my father. I'm Grant.
Oh, that explains it. I never forget a face. It's a political necessity. And you look similar to, but slightly different than, Aaron. And yet, the same age as Aaron. How is that possible?
Because I think you're a ghost. You died on the 22nd of July.
Of what year?
1950.
Ooh, I've had a good long life then. Excellent.
Good evening, sirs. I am gratified to see that you're early for my lecture tonight. The Women's Christian Temperance Union always appreciates the support of men such as you.
Madame, I have been a teetotaler my entire life. Has your organization considered the benefits of vegetarianism?
One thing at a time, or maybe 2. And there is also the vote, Mr.
King. The Honourable William Lyon Mackenzie King, Member of Parliament, first ever Minister of Labour.
Minister King, delighted to make your acquaintance. The Temperance Union is so pleased that you are now our ally, are back in politics.
When was I out of politics?
For almost a decade, since 1911.
But this is 1911. Does this mean the speech is for a lost cause?
Nonsense, it's 1921. If I didn't know that you'd already signed the pledge, I'd think you were with drink. I hope you will consider taking the stage tonight to make a few comments. Ever since the Spanish flu and the Great War, there has been a slide in the support for prohibition. You may say it's been dispiriting.
What is the Great War?
Oh, you jest, Minister King, and the newspapers say you have no sense of humor. Little girl, are you here for the temperance
entertainment tonight, and he says I can buy a penny's worth of candy downstairs at the store afterwards.
Tonight? That's impossible. The Women's Christian Temperance Union is meeting tonight.
I'm Joyce, of the Harmony Kids, the Shirley Temple of the West from Athabasca, Alberta. We've been touring for most of the Depression, and my pa says this little war is not going to stop us.
The Great War?
Mister, I'm only 10, but I know the Great War ended long before I was born.
What year do you think it is?
I don't think I know. It's 1939.
No.
It says so, right on my poster.
You're Joyce Hahn. I've listened to you singing on the CBC radio, but you sound so much more grown up on the radio.
Yeah, I haven't been on the CBC yet, but Pa says I'm gonna get there.
Hi, gang! Sorry I'm late. I'm playing Sheila. You must be my love interest,
I beg
Jim.
your pardon.
No, it is quite true. You are rather old. Are you playing my father?
I'm not playing at anything. I'm trying to win an election, but I hear that may be a lost cause.
Come to think of it, you look a bit like Prime Minister King.
I am the Honorable William Lyon Mackenzie King for... Did you say Prime Minister?
If you don't know who the Prime Minister is, then I don't see how you're going to be able to remember your lines. And if you can't remember your lines, then our show's in trouble. It's supposed to be a farce. And now that the war with Hitler's over, people want some fun.
Another war?
She and Joyce are talking about the same war.
How long does this war last?
6 years.
My pa says the war will only last a few months.
Well, is Canada involved in this war?
Yes, and it's even bigger than the Great War.
Miss,
Yeah.
do women get the right to vote?
Absolutely.
And what about prohibition?
Oh, that is a doornail.
And I'm going to be Prime Minister.
The longest serving Prime Minister in Canada's history.
The longest serving Prime Minister. Ah, this has been a most fortuitous evening. Would you all mind if I organized the occasional seance so that you could keep me up with the changing times? I'll bring my mother. Things don't change very much around here. People who are born and raised in St. Clements usually stay in St. Clements. A lot of people here are related.
A lot of families have their roots in Linwood. The kids move away, but they tend to migrate back.
Kids would love to move back to Hawksville after they grow up, if they can find a house and they can afford it.
Bamberg is a great place to live, with limited opportunity for growth for newcomers or one's children to live, except to visit.
I'm from Cross Hill. Bigger isn't always better. I don't agree with that philosophy. Why do they have to make cities out of every small community?
In Linwood, we have Schneer's grocery store. It's been run by the same family for 165 years. It might be the oldest single-family owned grocery store in Canada. And they've always delivered. For a farm, instead of harnessing the horses and hitching up the wagon and driving to town, all they have to do is telephone into Schneer's and have the order delivered.
There's no stores in Cross Hill. That's the way I like it. I plan my shopping trips and eat healthier. There's no McDonald's here. I've had to learn how to cook.
I have a big garden, And I grow all the vegetables I need. I can eat them all winter long.
In Bamberg, we can go for a stroll, meet our neighbors, and do some old-fashioned roadside shopping from seasonal stands selling local grown apples, produce, flowers. Someone with backyard chickens sells eggs.
Eggs. Eggs. We buy our eggs from the Mennonites. And I can walk to the bakery. People come from all over to go to Len's Mill. And they handle some groceries as well as fabric. I really get shaking my head when tourists stop, roll down their car window and ask for Mennonite fabric.
Summer sausage.
Yeah, furniture.
Quilts, eggs, and what do they mean? Mennonite anything.
A style?
The quality.
Who makes them?
And no, there's no Mennonite pioneer village around here.
Where you can hop into a buggy and go for a ride.
Hawksville. Hawksville is nestled by the river. And we're not on any highway, so we're not easily discovered. However, our businesses are mostly industrial.
St. Clement's Herget Industries has been there for 80 years. There was a time when just about everyone in town worked there. Summer part-time jobs. It was a stepping stone into full-time work.
Oh, summer jobs. In Linwood, our biggest employer is Jones Feed Mills. It's been there for, close to 100 years. We also have a hardware store that's been in town for generations, and lots of shops and other farm businesses.
On-farm businesses, you have local employment, and they pay their taxes too. They're good for the community.
Businesses in Bamberg? After I moved to Bamberg, I still considered my home to be in Waterloo. That's where I worked, and my kids went to school. So I put my oldest into Waterloo Soccer League. I'm not athletic, and neither are my kids. Even in this beginners league, there'd be dads shouting at the kids and arguing with the referees who were teenagers themselves. Geez, my electrician suggested we join the Township League, and it was an aha moment for me. I didn't even know there was one. In the Wellesley League, people were civil. And I enjoyed sitting on the grass and talking to the other parents. I put all my kids into soccer here over the years, and now that my youngest has finished playing, I really miss it.
Kids are into soccer. In St. Clement's, there's lots of sports. The ballparks. Old-timers hockey is big. The Old Saints are a very good team.
The Covered Bridge Trail runs through Linwood. It's great for walking and cycling. And we're a pretty small town, famous for our outdoor baseball during Snowfest in February.
Well, the rec center here in Hawksville helps keep our community connected, not only in sports. We host 4 events a year, a summer barbecue and a Christmas dinner, and the folks from the community come from all walks of life to enjoy themselves.
Back when I lived in Kitchener, there was a lot of keeping up with the Joneses. When I first moved out here, one day was the same as the next. I never really thought about it when I mowed my lawn until one day someone said to me, "Neighbor, we don't usually run our machinery on Sunday." At first, I didn't understand, but then I realized that that's how Sundays used to be. Instead of work, there's a day of rest. That's something I admire about the Mennonites. Out here, there's a sense of community, faith, and family.
And here in Hawksville, we're only 15 minutes from Waterloo.
St. Clement's is close to the city, but just far enough away.
Well, we regularly hear horse and buggy going by, yet we're 10 minutes from Waterloo and 7 minutes from Wellesley. Consider us a quiet rural hub. And look around, the scenery is just breathtaking.
I've lived in Linwood all my life. moved me to Toronto, and I feel like I've been overwhelmed. Maybe that's how Toronto people would feel if they lived here.
Was a born people pleaser. We never had to rebuke her, even as a young child. Just one look of disappointment was enough to change her behavior. She was also highly intelligent and self-motivated. And this combination of traits became deadly because Jolene's personality made her susceptible to an eating disorder. We first noticed Jolene's mood changing when she was about 10 years old. None of us, including Jolene, knew what was wrong. We made an appointment with our doctor, who began looking for physical problems, because that's where you start. During a family vacation that summer, we begged her to eat anything. On our return from holidays, we took her to emergency, where the new doctor asked her direct questions and then told us, "You're dealing with an eating disorder." I'd thought an eating disorder was a Hollywood problem, not something that could affect a little Mennonite girl from Millbank. When Jolene was first diagnosed in 2005, we were given a brochure on eating disorders and referred to a dietitian. There were no inpatient programs for those patients who were medically stable. Only after she collapsed while having blood tests did she get a bed at McMaster. That's how Jolene's 20-year journey with anorexia began. Back then we asked ourselves, what would we do if our child had cancer or diabetes? We'd share what we were going through, and we'd become advocates for treatment. So with Jolene's anorexia, we were open about her illness. We found the more open and vulnerable we were, the more support we received from the community, which in turn gave us strength. We decided to be honest about the hard. Jolene would sacrifice anything for anyone, but not for herself. She helped so many other young people. Young women she met in treatment told us how she helped them overcome their eating disorders, how she talked them out of abandoning their treatments, and how she encouraged them to listen to the voices of those who loved them rather than to their eating disorder. Mental illness does not have a predetermined treatment timeline and outcome in the same way as physical illness does. In spite of this, in Toronto, inpatient programs for anorexia patients are limited to 8 weeks in length. Jolene needed nutrition to have the clarity of mind to fight this beast. But food was her enemy. Her eating disorder brought her a level of comfort because it was always there without fail. Anorexia has the highest mortality rate of any mental illness. Jolene had so much knowledge after 19 years of therapy, and she tried her best. But her cycles of recovery and relapse became closer together over the years. She passed away earlier this year. We grieve the loss of our daughter, and we grieve the loss of a life not lived. Throughout Jolene's illness, the strength of our faith and the caring of our community have made an enormous difference to our family. It is true that one person did say to me, if she was my daughter, I would force feed her. I thought, then I'm glad she's not your daughter, because if you knew anything about her illness, you'd know that wouldn't help. But overall, the community was supportive of both our advocacy and of us as a family. We held advocacy events, including one with the Minister of Health, and many customers came out in support. We had purple mittens and purple bracelets made with Jolene's recovery words, courage and freedom, for everyone who donated to eating disorder awareness. Our church community supported us through prayer, gifts of money for treatment, and by spending time with our other two young daughters. When I was visiting Jolene in treatment, they brought meals to our family. Our staff community shared gifts, donations, and many cards and words of support. Even people we didn't know personally would come into the store and ask after Jolene. You don't have to understand something to care.
No strangers here, just friends who haven't met. They'll take in the bins that you might forget. You can count on your neighbors, your community too. They do the little things, they look out for you. Chats in the aisles at the grocery store, that lost mitten pinned to the bulletin board. A wandering pup returned to the house, or advice to deal with a trespassing mouse. No strangers here, just friends who haven't met. They'll take in the bins that you might forget. You can count on your neighbors, your community too. They do the little things, they look out for you.
Got a painting question, need a handy fix. A visit to the harbor will do the trick. Cars and trucks and tractors, oh my. Gather at Schmitzel for the turtle pie.
No strangers here, just friends you haven't met. They'll take in the bins that you might forget. You can count on your neighbors, your community too. They do the little things, they look out for you. They do the little things, they look out for you.
Anybody in need of rhubarb? I've got an extra supply this year in my garden. Just let me know.
That reminds me, there's an extra spot in the community garden if anyone's interested. We're gonna have a bumper crop this year, so donate the extra produce to the food cupboard.
Great.
Do you think the food cupboard would like some baby food? My granddaughter visited last week and I have some extra.
I'm playing pickleball at my church tonight. Is anybody else interested?
How often can you play?
Well, there's a pickleball most nights of the week at different churches in the township. We kind of like to joke it's our pickleball outreach ministry. It's great exercise and they raise money for charity, good for the body and spirit.
Ooh, I'd love to, but tonight I'm helping organize my church garage sale. Proceeds go to the fall fair.
Oh, good.
Well, I'm looking forward to the Food Truck Monday fundraiser in St. Mark's Park.
Yeah.
Yes, yummy.
I was at the food trucks last week talking to a new resident. She's from Ukraine and she said she wanted to get involved. So I suggested she join us here.
Yeah.
Oh, there's an event that the Ukrainians are making some food. Our tickets are going on sale next week. Should we get a table?
Oh, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yes, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
If they want to get involved, there's lots of service clubs, Lions Club, ABC. She could get involved by joining, or there's a dog guide walk. She can just walk along.
Yeah.
My son needs some more volunteer hours. Perhaps he could help out with the walk.
That's a good idea.
And the Lions are having a youth dance, or last youth dance of the year. Anyone's kids going?
No, but my sister's going.
My brother's going.
Might a church or a service club have a raffle ticket drum? We're gonna need one for the community fundraiser that we're holding for the family of the mother who went in for surgery.
Well, I bet you the Lions
Well,
Club can
that's
help
a
you
good
out.
idea.
Yeah.
I'll check.
Just let me know what else you need help with.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so I am in need of some more red yarn for the Poppy Project. Anybody interested in a road trip to Lens tomorrow?
Sure, I really look forward to seeing the poppies on the bridges in Andrew and St. Clements in November.
It's a highlight in November.
Nice show of respect.
Wow, guys!
Yeah.
Our quilt is really coming together.
There's still a missing square over there.
Well, that's a good thing. An opening like that means there's room for newcomers to come and help build community.